Okay. So the global master, as the name suggests, it's a master file, master language for all the other languages which are used globally. So if I go to the WE Retail Language Masters, there are multiple languages like China, French, German, Japanese, Spanish, Korean, etc. And there is a English also. So to create other language files, we need one base file, right? Any base file, you need at least one file to create other languages files. So in 99.9%, English English file is used as a global master because it is easy to translate from English to Chinese, English to French, English to German. That's why most of the time, almost all the time, English language master is called as a global master file. Okay, understood the concept? Why? Because from English you can create a Chinese, French, German, etc. That's why English is a global master file. Uh, let's take an example that your client is Japanese or his business is always in Japan. So for him, the Japan file will be the global master because its core content is from Japanese sites. That's why for him, the JA file will be or Japanese site will be a global master. Okay, but normally English language master it's called as a global master. So from that you can translate the English file to the other languages. Okay, clear with this concept? What is global master?
Uh, in easy words, it is a root language for any website.
Yes, you can say root language, but it depends on the country. For example, if I am Indian, if my business is only related to India, then I can create a root file in Hindi because all my website will be in Hindi. Then from Hindi I can translate to other languages. But that is a hypothetical example. Most of the time, English will be a global master. It's a core language for the website.
So basically, it is a kind of a tool which will interrupt any universal language.
Yes.
Okay.
And to give you one more example, if you go to any Swiss websites, they most of the time they are in German. Swiss or German website, they are mostly in German. For them, their core language or the global master will be a German file. From that file, they translate it into English, French, etc. Okay. So for us, English will be a global master file. Then second concept is inheritance rollout to live copy. Okay. So what is inheritance? So how does inheritance work? Let's say I have a English file. So can you just tell me what is live copy?
Live copy. I can give you an example like how you have a like a sitemap or something like an Excel where we don't edit. We can't edit basically. It is the which is accessed by everybody and
Mm, no, actually I will show you what is a live copy. Okay.
okay.
Let's open one page. 48 hours of wild. So this English file, it's a global master also, and it is a language copy also. Okay, just remember. So I'm opening a page called Hours of Wilderness. Okay, it's a English language page, and it's a base page for other languages.
Is it something, Kalpesh, it is something like the changes we make in master file, I mean, the main one, is it that is what, I mean, reflects in the live copy are you talking?
Yes.
Ah, okay. Okay, okay.
It's taking time to open.
Okay. So the change we do in the main copy, the same thing shows in the live copy. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
So this is an English page. You can say English language copy of Hours of Wilderness. Okay. And normally what happens in a AEM hierarchy, there are language masters and there are sites, or you can say countries. So whatever changes you need to do, you will do under language masters. For example, if I receive a request to change this title, instead of 48 hours, I want to make it as 24 hours. So I will always go to the language master and I will update these pages, English, Chinese, French, etc. I will never go to the countries or sites section and update the site. Okay, I will never go to US, EN, experience and 48 hours. I will never update this page. I will always go to the language master and then I will navigate to English experience and 48 hours. Okay. Then once I update this page, let's say I'm updating this 24 hours. Okay, once I update this page, then I will roll out. So rolling out to these many sites. Rolling out means automatically transferring your content language from language masters to the sites or countries or live copies. Okay, so give you idea. So countries, there will be a language master section, then there will be a country section, or there will be a site section, or it is also known as live copies also. Okay, so you will always edit the language master. Once the edit is completed, you will roll out to the country sites or live copies. Okay, so basically you can say language masters are the languages English, Chinese, French, and sites or countries are basically you can say destination. Like these are the countries. So if I say English, language master English, it has a multiple live copies. So if I go to the countries or sites, it will have a, let's say, if I open it, if I roll out this part, See, it has a 10 live copies. That means this English language is used for US country, UK, Canada, India, Australia, Singapore, Belgium, Ireland, South Africa, and United Arab Emirates. See if you can see the path. Can you see the path here in small? CAEN.
Yeah. Yeah, Kalpesh.
Okay, so this page in English language is used in Canada English also, UAE English, Singapore, South Africa, UK, US, Belgium, Ireland, Australia, India. So whenever I make a change here and whenever I roll out this page, once I click on this check mark, this change will reflect or transfer to these many sites or countries. So if I go to from language master, if I go to the countries, then if I go to India, English, it will have 24 hours. Okay. But if I go to now, let's say French, FR, French has a 48 hours of wilderness. Why it has a 48 hours? Because we haven't updated the French language master. Once we update the French language master and roll out, it will be the change will be updated on the French countryside also. So in simple language, how you can understand, language master are languages and sites are like a countries. Okay, or live copies are like a countries. So if I go to the Switzerland, in Switzerland they spoke two languages, French and German. Okay, if I go to if I go to if I go to Canada, I think Canada has two languages. Yes, in Canada they speak English and French. Okay, so that's why we created a two live copies inside Canada for English and French. So if I go to the Canada English now, and if I go to the experience, 28 hours, and if I go to the Canada French experience, 8 hours. For English, we will have 24 hours, and for French, we will have a 48 hours as a title. Okay. So did you understand the concept? The language master are basically languages which are used, and sites are basically the countries. So in one country, you can have multiple languages. For example, I shown you Canada can have multiple EN, FR, and we can also add a D also, German also. In UAE, basically they have a EN and they have Arabic also. In Switzerland, they have FRD and EN. Okay, did you understand this concept? Language master is English and countries or sites are basically the countries or you can say areas in which the other languages are spoken. In the simple language, in EM terms, these are the language master and countries are basically live copies. So if I go here inside English, if I go to the page properties, if I go to the blueprint, it shows how many live copies this page has. So it has around 10 live copies. Okay, and if I go to here, properties, it shows the source file. Source file is a language master region. So see, in the live copies, we have this. Once you go to the page properties, we will get this option called live copy. That means we are inside a live copy. If I go to the language master and go to the page property, we get an option called blueprint. Blueprint means the original file, source file. So all the language master are source file for the live copies. Clear with this content concepts?
Yes.
Okay. So what is inheritance? So inheritance in simple language, what I can say you that let's say you have a house who belongs to your father. So uh, the house will pass on to his children. So that is called inherited property. So same, if I have a page and it has a multiple components like this text component or then this image component. So the properties of this component will also get transferred to live copies. Okay, so if I go now, I am in, let's say, okay, now I am in live copy of Canada English. Okay, now if I try to edit it, it will show me this chain icon. That means this component is inherited or it is currently locked for editing. Why it is inherited? That means that means this component can be edited once the inheritance is broken. So if I make a change here and roll out, then it will apply here. So how to edit this inherited component? Just simply click on this icon. It will give you a pop-up that do you want to cancel the inheritance? You will say yes. Once it is cancelled, then you can edit this part. So instead of 24 hours, let's say I make a 36 hours. Okay, so right now CAEN has 36 hours and language copy has 24 hours. Now if I try to edit this one, make it as a 12 hours. And when I roll out, see here it will show the status as a inheritance is broken. That means it shows that there are some components in this Canada English page which are for which the inheritance is broken. For others, inheritance is intact. So if I roll out all the changes, let me make one more change somewhere. Okay, now I'm rolling out. Okay, if I go to Canada English and refresh, say except title is still 36 hours, but rest of the page is similar. So Canada English also has a sample text as a title, and English also has sample text title, but Language Master has 12 hours and Live Copy has 36 hours. This is because we have break the inheritance. Okay, inheritance is like a, you can say, a thing, like a some valuable thing which belongs to Language Master. You cannot, for example, if I have if my dad has a mobile phone, I cannot sell it because it belongs to him. I can only sell once it belongs to me. So similarly, this kind of stuff, the inheritance works. You can only edit this inheritance once the inheritance is broken. If I now revert the inheritance, it will be at 12 hours again. So right now it is same content as of Language Master. Okay. So did you understand the inheritance concept?
Yeah, now I get it.
Okay. So what happens usually when you receive a request, let's say I have received a request to update an Australia page. Australia mains page. So in that case, what I will do, I will go to the countries section inside Australia, English and main. I will open it and I will break the inheritance on that specific component only. And I will update that part. Okay, so instead of let's say, what part is editable here? Okay. So instead, if I want to just update title for this main page, I will just break only that in components inheritance, and inside that I can make a change. I will not break inheritance for these parts. These content will be generated from the language master. But if I receive a request to update the all English sites, there is a catch in that word. All English site or all specific, or need to update only specific country or sites. There are these two words you need to remember. If I need to update all English sites, then I will go to the language master. If I need to update only specific country page like India, Australia, then I will go to the countries or sites section. Okay. If there is nothing is mentioned, they have just mentioned you that kindly go to XYZ page and update the title. Then you will go to the language master. If nothing is mentioned, you will go to the language master. If there is some specific countries is mentioned, then you will go to the countries or sites and you will break the inheritance and make your changes. Okay.
Okay.
So we have covered global master, inheritance, rollout, language copy now. Language copy is easy to understand. Language copy means it's a copy of English copy or a language copy of the English file or a global master. So inside language master, you will see Chinese, French, these are called language copies. Okay. How they created, has Srilakshmi shown you how to create a language copy?
Please show this again.
Okay. So let's take an example. I am in English, language master English, and I have received a request to create Zoom page in French language. Okay. So first I will go to the French side. I will check whether this page is already available or not. If I go to Nivedita Solutions platform. So okay, it's already available. We will create a new one now. Okay, let's take the other example. Okay, let's create a Hindi language master. Then you will understand. Okay. Okay, now I want to create a Hindi language copy or language master. For that, I need one base file to copy the content. So I will go to the English. Then there are multiple options. So I will show you the first option. I will go to create language copy. Okay. Then I want to include all the sub pages. That means I want to have all the sub pages means I want to add experience man, woman, then inside experience I want to add all these pages also in Hindi. So I will check box this. If I don't want, I will just uncheck this. But right now I want to include all the sub pages. Click on next.
You want to select only one page,
Then you will just uncheck this box. Then it will only copy the EN. That means only this page. If you include all, that means it will have all this directory, experience, about the product, etc. All the stuff, all the child pages basically. So right now I want to have all the child pages. Then I will click on next. Then I will select the target language. So here are all the languages will be mentioned. You need to select on which language you want to create a new language master. So let's say Hindi. Configuration path should be blank, but ideally when there is a translation, your client, your project manager or your team lead will mention you what to use. Ideally, it should be a blank. Then it's a machine translator, configuration default. Then you click on next. I want to create a translation project. Create structure means it will only create the blank side with the component. If I want to add the text also, for example, if I want to add this text, sometimes it can be difficult to get back this blah 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 text. Then I will select translation project, then just give some name. Then I will click on create. Language copy has been created and added to respective translation project. Click on done. Let's see if I have Hindi. Okay, so right now I have a Hindi language also. It will take some time to load all the pages. It might take 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Okay, but if I now, okay, Hindi has been created. Now I want to create a live copy for Hindi. Let's go to properties. Let's see. So right now you can't see a blueprint option here. That's because you don't have any live copies associated with this Hindi side. So we will create now live copy. Okay. Once the pages are completed. Okay. So did you understand how to create a language copy? You will go to the English as a base file, then you will create a language copy. Okay. Now I want a live copy for his Hindi. Okay. So if I go to Hindi and I will create live copy. So it will ask me the where I want this live copy. So I want this inside the country India. So India will have the English language and Hindi language. Then I will select the India, click on next. Title should be Hindi, name should be HI. Okay, rollout configuration, standard rollout. If I want to only create a live copy for sub home page, then I will checkbox. If I want to include all the children's, then I will just remove this checkbox. Okay, then I will this option is also important. You will need to select standard rollout config. I will explain you what are the other options later. Then I will click on create. Okay, you can either open a new live copy or return. Okay, that means our live copy has been created. So let's take a verify. So I go to the countries, India. Now I have two languages, English, Hindi. Okay, so if I want to update anything inside India Hindi, I will go to the language master of Hindi. Okay, if I want to update anything in India English, I will go to the language master English. Clear with this concept? How to create a language copy and live copy?
Yes.
Okay, so basically this country section or live copies, these sites will be available to the users. These pages are live. All these pages and language masters are not live. You will roll out from this to this and you will publish these pages. You will never publish language masters. Remember this. To show you one live example, if I go to our Poly project, we have a structure like a language master and sites. Instead of countries, we have sites. So if I go to the language master EN products, see here, publish is not published. These language master pages never be published. Okay, we will publish only the sites. If I go to the sites, USEN products, this is the published page. So we will always publish inside the sites, and a normal user or our customer will see the content available on the sites. So that's why whenever we receive a request to update anything on the sites, we will first update the language master. We will roll out the change to the sites and we will publish the sites or publish the countries or publish the live copies. Clear with this part? Okay, should we move on?
Yes.
Okay, so I have shown you one part how to create a language copy through create option. So there is one more option, I think. If I go to command, I can just simply check its references by clicking this button. Okay, it will show me language copies. It will show me this main page is available in English, Hindi, I think CY Cyprus, Chinese Simplified, French, German, D, ESMS, KO, RU, PTBR. So instead of these, if I want to, okay, StrikeHard doesn't have any option to create a language copy. So there is one more option which is currently not in this tool. When you click on these references, it will show you the all the language copies, and also at the bottom it will mention that create a new language copy. Here at the bottom after PTBR, it will show a button called create a new language copy, and you can simply click on that button, select the language. I will show you in live example if we have that feature. Copy products. See here. So for this for these conference phones, we already have English, Spanish, Chinese, Japanese, French, German, etc. All these languages. Apart from that, if I want to create a new, I will just simply create and translate. Then I will select a remaining language like Hungarian. If I want to select all the child pages, then I can simply create a translation project. I will just rename it and we create it. So this is also one more method to create a language copy. So in our demo version, this option is not available, but you might find it in your client version. Yes, so this is how you create a language copy and live copies. Okay, so next part is I have covered global master translations. So why translation is dependent on these three topics? Because right now you have created Hindi language, but its content is in English. If I go to this experience and if I edit it, it's in English. Arctic service in English. Let's add some text here so that okay. So this is in English right now. I will roll out this part to India Hindi. Okay, so If I go to the countries, India, Hindi, experience. Okay. Edit. So you will see here also it is modified few seconds ago. That means it's recently updated. If I go to the country Hindi, I have this text which is in English. It is inheritance is entered. If I want to update here, I need to break. But I want to translate this text. Okay, so how the translation part works. Okay, so this is the important thing. You will see a lot of translation requests in your projects. So I will go to the projects. Here I can create another project. Here you will see a multiple option like a simple project, translation, media, product photo shoot. We want to translate. I will select this translation project. Click on next. I will add a title. I want to translate remote working page in Hindi. So I will add the initials or language code HI. Description can be anything, or you can place random text, or you can keep it as a blank. Okay, then I will set as a start date today. I want to complete this translation by, let's say, Friday. User, you don't need to add, it will be automatically added here inside members. We will go to the advanced. Source language will be currently in which language the page is in. So it is in English. So that's why the source language will be English. I want to target language. My target language is Hindi. That is in the language which I need to translate the page. Configuration, you need to right now keep it as a blank. If you move to any of the projects, you will need to select that cloud configuration which project or PM has provided to you. Translation method, machine translation. For this demo version, you will use machine translation. In your project, you will use human translations most of the times. Human translation means someone will, actual living person will translate the paragraph one by one. Machine translation, it's similar as a Google Translate. Translation provider Microsoft, category genre, you don't need to update anything this year. Nothing has to be changed here. You will click on create. Then open. Once you have created, you will see these 4 tiles. First is summary. Summary of the translation project created from administrator. In which language page needs to be translated Hindi. Provider will be Microsoft or human translation. Method is machine translation. Here is a translation job summary. Currently status is draft. Target language is Hindi. Number of pages added right now. We haven't added a page right now. That's why it is 0. We haven't added asset right now. So that's why it's also 0. Then content fragments, etc. All is 0. Team is your team, which you will see your team details, task details. Ignore these 2 slides, team and task, which is not in use right now. So once this is done, you will click on these 3 dots. You will go to one page where you need to add a page which needs to be translated. So I will go to the click on add. I want to add a page without the child pages. If I select the top option, it will add the page plus its child pages also or sub pages. So I don't want to do that. I just want to translate a single page. So that's why I will choose asset or page without the children. Then I will move to language master. Remember this step, you don't need to go to the countries or live copies. You will need to go to language master. You will need to go Hindi. experience, and this one. You need to navigate to that page which you want to translate, not the English one, not any other pages. Currently, we need to translate this Hindi page which is in English. I have selected this. It will add that page. It will add some metadata. Metadata means some text, some data related to this page, like page title, navigation title, some SEO details, etc. Once this is done, I will click on this option. I will go to the previous screen. Then I will click on this arrow. Then I will start the project. You will see a pop-up like translation has been started. Just wait for a few minutes. Currently, the status is in draft. Just refresh it. Status is approved. Okay, then let's go to language master Hindi experience. See, did you see the difference? The title is already translated into Hindi. Okay, if I go to once I open the page, I see that the text is also translated into Hindi. It's a Google translation kind of thing. You will send the text to Google, it will get you immediate translation text. Okay, so that's because it was a machine translation, it is completed within a few minutes. If it was a human translation, it might take a 1 day, 2 day, 1 week, or even 1 month also. Okay, so once this is done, we will go to the language master. We will check the page. Everything is translated right now. Okay, why this is not translated? Can you tell me why this is not translated? Arctic surfing in Lofoten. Any guess?
I think this is a component name.
No. Because it's a title of the parent page. It is a title of the Arctic surfing in Lofoten. We are not translating this Arctic surfing. So that's why this text is not translated. This text is automatically generating from the parent page. So if you see, the navigation is also in English, footer is also in English. This page title, you can say some heading, it's also in English. Why? Because navigation is getting generated from the English. Navigation is generated from this section. On the last call, we have seen how to update navigation. It is capturing this text from experience main movement, which is in English. That's why this navigation is in English. This is the parent text. See this. The parent page title is Arctic surfing. So that's why this is in English. If I send the parent page for translation in Hindi, once the translation is completed, this text will also will be in Hindi. So did you get this concept why this is not translated?
Yes.
Okay.
So
right. Yes, go on.
Yeah, we have to select everything to be translated.
Yes, correctly. Once the new language master is created, usually what happens in the projects, once there is a new language master, they will send all the pages for translation. So that all these things will be translated perfectly. So right now, this is our demo example. We have only sent one page. Okay, once this is done, I will roll out this page. I will roll out to the live copy. Okay, so this is a live copy, India Hindi. Now if I refresh it, this is also in Hindi, right? Okay, so this is done. Once this is done, I will just simply publish the page. So this text will go live with a Hindi language. Okay, clear with this, how the translation works?
Yeah. Can you do this to header footer also?
Okay, so header footer, like I shown you, let's now translate the whole Hindi directory. Okay,
Okay.
or to show you manually, let's do one manual, then we will do one complete. Let's open this page, edit. Let's translate this experience word. Okay, let's update this experience word. Okay, I will go to this experience. Inside Hindi, I will go to this experience. I will go to the page properties. The words for okay, right now this is Anubhav. Let's see whether it reflects here. Okay, did you get it? How to update this navigation? I will just simply go to page. I will just simply edit this page titles inside Hindi. Okay, so inside main, I will make it the Purush 3 devices equipment. Okay, clear with this thing?
Yeah. Okay.
Or you, what you can do, you can simply send this experience page for translation. Let's say equipment. Okay, let's send equipment. I will go to the project. I will create a new project. Translation. Next. Title. Event. Hindi. Start date today. Due date also today. No change here. Equipment Hindi, English. Source language is in English. Target language is Hindi. Machine translation method Microsoft Excel. Rest is same. Create. Okay, now if I click on done, my project will be edited. Inside here, I will go here. And then I need to add page. Click on add single page without children. And go to W retail, go to language master, go to Hindi. I want to translate this equipment page. Click on select. Once the page is added, I go to the previous screen. I will start the translation. Once the translation started, just refresh it 1 or 2 times till it is approved. Okay, so if I go to the language master Hindi, the equipment page is translated. If I refresh the remote working page, see, this is also done. Okay, now we will send the complete Hindi for a translation. Go to the project, create project, translation, next. Hindi complete directory. Hindi. Start date today, end date tomorrow, maybe. Advanced. Target language will be Hindi. Machine translate and the same. Click on create. Open. Now I want to translate all the things inside the Hindi. So I will click on these 3 dots. instead of without children, I will click on this first option, assets and pages. Language master, Hindi. I want to translate everything under Hindi. Click on select. It will show me multiple pages. It might take some time depending on the page count. So that's why we do a translation in small bunch. So right now he has a lot of pages. List is still loading. Okay. When this is done, I will go to the previous screen. And then I will start it. So what happens when you have large number of pages, it affects the AEM performance also. It will slow your AEM. So that's why usually what happens, we send the pages in small groups. Like we will first translate experience section, then we will translate product section, then we will translate user section, then Nivedita, Sujata, etc. So it puts a less load on the AEM server. So let's wait for a few minutes till complete Hindi translation has been done. If I refresh this page, it is in under progress. So there are around 148 pages, 9 content fragments, 131 assets. Assets are basically images or documents. And usually it will translate only the pages and content fragments if it contains any text.
And what about images?
Images is not transferable, they are image files.
Okay.
It's if you have an image of a person, how will you translate? It's an image. It will just try to copy from one place to another. Okay, ready for review means you can go to the site section and you can view the pages. Okay, if you are okay with it, then you can make it as mark it as a complete. Okay, now if I go to the Hindi section, I can see all the pages are translated in Hindi. See, all the text is in Hindi right now. It updated the content fragments also. Okay, clear with this translation? This is the important topic because in your projects you will see numerous requests related to translation. On daily basis, I get around 2 to 3 translation requests to translate a page from English to other languages. So right now what you can do, we have covered all our topics. Do you have any queries?
No, once we go through video again, then might be.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll have to go through once again.
Okay, no issue. So for assignment, I'm giving you verbal assignment. I don't know, or you want to document it somewhere. Try to create a language masters in okay, let's do one thing. Go to the English sites, create your own folder here, like Shakil and Manal. Inside that, create 2 to 3 hierarchy of pages, like Emilda has done. Digital content inside some pages, and add some random text. Okay. Then once you do that, try to translate that page in these many languages like Hindi, Chinese, French, German, Japanese. Okay. And after that, try to create a new language master. So which one you will create? Right now we have Korea, Russia, Portuguese, Spanish, Japan. So there are multiple languages you can create. Like you can create a Swedish, you can create Hungarian, you can create a Danish
So
language.
we have to create only English language page, right?
Create a
Language.
English language page. Then
Yeah.
from English, you
Um,
will create language master of other languages like a Danish, Hungarian.
Okay. So one question, Kapish. I mean, can we do it like we can do it only language master for only one different language, or we can do multiple, like we can for the same thing?
So while creating a language copy, you can select multiple languages at
Oh,
the
okay.
same time.
Okay. Okay.
I go here, select English. I can select Arabic. I can select this one. Okay. I can create a multiple language copies within a single instance. Also, for translation also, if I go to AM projects, if I creating a translation project, I can select multiple translation languages within a single instance, like say German, Danish. So that page will be translated in 3 languages at the same time. It might take a little bit time, but it will be translated in 3 languages at the same time. Okay, clear with this? So what now you will do as the assignment? You will create your own folder inside Language Master EN. Then you will create a language master. Like I have created Hindi, you will create another language master. Maybe you can just Google it how many languages are there and you can create it. Or you can just simply create a language copy and select a language which is not available here, like a Hungarian, Danish, then Swedish, Slovakian, etc. Once this is done, create a live copy like I have did for India Hindi. Once this is also done, send your page or send your whole folder for the translation in all the languages which is we have created inside the language master. Okay, understood?
Okay.
Okay, just to again reiterating again, first step is creating your own folder inside language master. Second is creating other language masters from English. English as a base language. Third, create a live copy inside country. For example, you can create a Urdu in language master. You can create a Urdu language master and you can create its live copy inside India and inside UAE. Okay. Similarly, you can create any other language master like say Swedish, and you can create a live copy inside, or you can create a simply new live copy here inside countries for Sweden. Country code for Sweden is SV. Okay, once the 3 steps are done, fourth step is sending your newly created folder, this whole folder for translation in all these languages. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, just do that and ping me if you face any problem, then we can connect again. Or what you can do, you can just ping me your queries and we can have a call at around 7 o'clock. Fine.
Yeah, Kapish. Because
When is your call?
yeah, 5:30 again on call is, yeah, okay. Yeah, 7 will be fine, Kapish.
Okay, then we will meet again 7 if you have any queries.
Okay.
Cool then. So bye then.
Thank you, Kalpesh. Bye.
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 Thank you.